This game was originally pitched as Ratchet and Clank clock blockers. I don't know whether to be impressed or not.
Have I ever told you about my son?
No, Mario, you haven't. Please do tell. Also, narration.
My son's name is XJ0461, but the universe knows him as Clank.
So is it XJ0461 or B5429671? At least the first one's easier to pronounce, but, you know, come on, make your mind up. Oh fuck, my boy Nefarious is back. Reset that sync counter to motherfucking 0. I don't give a flying shit.
Hypersonic Brainwave Scrambler!
The extremely powerful energy beings known as Zoni are defeated by the world's most annoying boombox.
Go ahead! Jump!
Ratchet and Clank apparently encourages suicide.
The exile will bring the rest in for question.
Why not just capture Ratchet as well instead of leaving him to come after you? The frog shotgun's pretty neat, I guess. Shame it gets outclassed by the Constructo shotgun very quickly though.
This is the last shred of technology in the entire village. I was always meaning to dismantle it, but now I'm glad I didn't.
Surprisingly, Senor Plot Convenience is nowhere in sight. What is this? These ship sections are probably my favourite out of all of the games, mostly because they're short and placing it on a 2D plane makes combat a lot more simplistic and easier to follow. I wish there was more music. No disrespect to Boris Salchow, the composer, some of the music here is great, but there are too many sections that feel empty simply because there's either no music, like here, but also because David David Berger's music always fit the games better and were generally more memorable.
Prepare to be killed by... Wait for it... Lord Forcelon!
3,000 years into the future, and Neil Patrick Harris is still a pop culture legend.
I should have killed you back on Lumos!
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Forcelon's actually kinda challenging. When he turns invisible, you have to look around and try to hear where his evil scuttling is coming from, and if you don't judge correctly, dodging his melee attack is pretty difficult. Really good boss battle, I reckon. Discount Joe Satriani be holding onto a banana anyway, apart from a silly sight gag. Clank level. Yeah, bet you weren't expecting that, were you? I don't know what the general consensus on Clank levels in a Kraken time are, but the timepad puzzles here are some of the best segments of not only Clank levels, but the entire series. I would love a game devoted to these time puzzles, to be honest. Minus 5 cents, why not?
I do not understand.
There is one small matter.
I don't have the capacity for love, Janice. I was cursed by a tribe of gypsy ninjas when I was a kid.
I know, Lamb. I was in that tribe of gypsy ninjas.
Ratchet had enough time to make a silly face, say uh-oh in not slow motion, and deflect the bomb with his wrench.
We're clear. I think that's all.
Auxiliary units to main server room.
Okay, I really need to stop doing that.
Unfunniest line in the game, and that includes the dialogue that's not supposed to be funny. Alistair's death is funnier than this.
I'm bringing in specialists! Cassiopeia!
Well, hello there.
Discount Courtney Gears.
Karina!
Bonjour.
And Libra.
Hey, how you doing?
True facts, the first time I saw that, I spat coke all over the TV screen. Good joke, that. Clank level. In reality, these subconscious challenges are actually extremely difficult timepad challenges. I want to send these, but I just can't bring myself to do it, I'm sorry. They're brilliant. Frustrating, but brilliant. Spiral of motherfucking death. This gun is second only to the bouncer, and you have no right to argue. The My Blaster Runs Hot gimmick of purposefully overheating your blaster to shoot a larger and more powerful shot at the risk of becoming vulnerable for a few seconds is kinda neato burrito. Discount Eye of the Tiger.
I'm pulling up a residual image from his database. We scanned it before he dissipated.
Clank?
Yo!
At least Ratchet threw something at Nefarious here, but it would have been better if he just shot him and killed him, but, you know. Also, Nefarious takes an explosive to the face and receives nothing but a crack and a loose eye. Instead of trying to rescue Orvis, like Clank specifically asked, Ratchet just sits there like a slack-jawed yokel and lets Nefarious do his thing. Oh, but it's okay. Ratchet says, "I'm sorry about your father," later on, so it's fine.
Oh, it's you! You gave the old ticker a start.
These clock puns are starting to tick me off.
Aha! Here's the culprit. Now what could this thingamajig be doing cluttering your brain?
Subtlety clearly isn't this story's strong suit.
Are you coming?
Plumbers don't just go diving down strange pipes all willy-nilly. That'd be ridiculous.
You know, Charles Martinet is in this game. You could probably just tell him that yourself. Also, hardy har har.
I'm sorry.
Important dialogue is cut off before the most important part of dialogue is revealed cliché. That's an American power plug, isn't it? Are you telling me space is actually just America? Nefarious attacks are doing way too much damage for this to be an enjoyable 2D fighter. Why does Nefarious's chamber have a doorbell?
Bon voyage, my old nemesis!
You're just a lonely man, Lance, boarding a lonely train on its way to Lonely Town.
So help me, it's true. All aboard for Lonely Town. Choo-choo, Janice. Choo-choo.
Shut down the transport and surrender quietly.
I don't know why anyone bothers with this, it never works. Oh no, I, an extremely powerful mad scientist, am having trouble beating this guy. I guess the only solution is to bring in significantly weaker minions. I never understood why bosses do this. The hover boots are a pretty cool concept, but they're extremely hard to handle in this section. The first time around I plummeted to my death like, I don't know, 10 times.
I said stop!
On one hand, Ratchet has taken Lord knows how many rockets, explosives, and bullets directly to the face and walked it off with nanotech to spare, so one measly shot from Alistair's Omni-Wrench would seem unlikely to kill Ratchet in a single shot like that. Was it because he only had his base armor equipped? Was it because it hit him square in the chest? I don't know, I ain't no doctor. On the other hand, holy fuck, Ratchet died! We thought the game was over and then Alistair does a complete 180 and kills the only other Lombax in existence, citation needed. I'm sure people saw it coming from a mile away, but I thought it was perfectly paced and executed.
Are you kidding me? You think I'd leave my best pal out here alone?
Your father went to great lengths to protect this room from those who would abuse it.
I wouldn't risk any more than 6 minutes.
Clank decides to go against everything Orvis and Sigmund ever taught him about the device that keeps and stabilizes time to rescue his best friend on the random piece of advice a plumber gave him in his subconscious. Wait, if that same shot made that structure explode, shouldn't Ratchet have literally exploded when he got hit by it? Ratchet was right behind Alistair this whole time, and yet here he's nowhere to be seen. Genuinely good boss battle here. Not only is it emotionally driven, but Alistair darts all about the place and is somewhat hard to predict. But you don't take masses upon masses of damage, making this a fair and fun fight. Oh, you know, just sitting here reflecting rockets. You know, you wouldn't have needed to die if you'd just gotten out of the way. Look at that, you had plenty of time to dodge. There's Piccolo when you need him.
He did a brave thing, Ratchet. You should be proud of him.
You sure should. You know, after killing you, trying to kill you again, and almost ripping apart the very fabric of time and space itself. Ratchet didn't notice this massive fleet of ships heading straight for his ship until they're practically tickling his whiskers.
We're under attack! He sniffed in Prague! It looks like he's hired Thugs for Less!
Thugs for Less is still running after the Thug leader's pitiful defeat. They've also hired Russians, apparently. Trying to get a stealth kill doesn't work when you start sprinting towards your target, Ratchet. Was there any point to hiding Kronk and Zephyr up there other than for a dramatic reveal of their capture? I mean, it's cool in a narrative sense that Kronk and Zephyr are killed off, and it's not like it's a Disney death where they actually survived, but anyone else just kind of find their death to be anticlimactic? Sure, it helps set up a reason for Nefton to consider turning himself and Vendor in later on, but still, to happen at the start of the game like this is a bit of a waste. Wow, I can hear those explosions pretty well, considering I'm in space. Having said all of this so far though, this is a pretty cool opening level, packed with plenty of spectacle and enough driving force to keep the player going. Plus, this game looks gorgeous, even though we're locked at 30 FPS, but as some of you already know, I couldn't care less. Insomniac still got it. Ratchet got inside one of their ships without any sort of alarm going off? Do ships in this universe just not have that kind of technology? Thank you, Insomniac, for making Clank sequences short and sweet this time around. If we can't have the timepad puzzles from a Kraken time bag, I'll happily take these instead.
He's sleeping
How the heck is Pollux seeing this? Let's assume Clank has, I don't know, cameras in his eyes that can wirelessly transmit a live feed or something. Would a live feed really be able to make it back to another reality?
Nero Orphanage. Bunch of creeps and bullies.
Russian enemies, and now audio logs. We interrupt this video game to bring you every AAA shooter ever made. Who the fuck puts an orphanage on the side of a cliff? And if this area was originally not a cliff, then why is there a game of hopscotch that leads directly off of it? Who drew this? Character isn't looking where they're going and almost steps right off a ledge cliche. Fun fact, air is made out of solid adamantium, and not even the most powerful temporal repulsor can burst through it. We interrupt this video game to bring you Mass Effect. Oh, Vale, the Winterizer. It sucks because it has ammo. Please understand, it's not as cool as the Sheepinator. Fuck you, this thing kicks ass, -1 sin. Didn't we just fight you about half an hour ago? Vendor apparently designed this weapon while she was in preschool, and Grumblenet stole the specs from her, not realizing they already had a perfectly capable weapon that did the exact same thing. You know, the Buzzblades. And since when the fuck could Clank fly? Someone needs to teach Insomniac what consistency means. Stuart Zergo has absolutely no right to have his face displayed alongside Dr. Nefarious.
I've been trying to shut down the security system, but Captain Quark forgot the code.
Talman and Quark already seem to know Ratchet's plan, despite Ratchet not having told them yet. The rest of the museum must be accessed by quickly running up the back of a troglosaur and navigating through the ventilation shaft, which must be extremely inconvenient for regular museum goers.
Grav leap onto any planet to begin the experience.
This exhibit assumes that everyone can grav leap in the first place.
This device targets organic matter and transmogrifies it into organic form.
Why would a museum have this?
Ratchet would be good at gaming sins.
Here stands the heroic figure of Dan Johnson. Mr. Johnson once lived on a primitive planet called Earth, where he mixed techno music, raised cats, and discovered the often overlooked secret of enjoying life. Go outside, meet friends, and share their company while consuming delicious food and a sparkling beverage.
Why would a statue of a man from Earth be in a museum like this? What, you thought I was actually going to sin that? You thought I'd sin the legend that is Dan Johnson? Shame on you. A sin off for even thinking that. The Hall of Villainy only houses exhibits of villains that were defeated by Ratchet and Clank.
Nefted, I have the Dimensionator.
Yeah, nice security system. There are a couple of blade thingies and time platforming segments. Was Vendra actually necessary here? All she's doing is pulling Mr. I back into the Netherverse. You could have done that with a ship's tether or a tractor beam or something.
Is that the Dimensionator?
Nope, just a random oversized mechanical hat.
You know, I just can't catch a break.
Ah, depression.
If the Dimensionator was functional, would you use it?
To find the Lombaxes? I don't know. There was a time I would have said yes, but at this point, there's more for me here than over there.
If this isn't the biggest ship tease, then I don't know what is, even though these two have as much chemistry as a wet paper bag and a ham sandwich. Robot ghosts.
Come on, let's go see some of those fin droids down at the robot graveyard.
Does this count as necrophilia? What the fuck are those light blue chrome hover boots Ratchet has? What is this shit design? Weren't they his father's? What the fuck? Insomniac were charging $40 for a 5-hour game. Cool, cool.
Come on, let's go see some of those fin droids down at the robot graveyard.
Should I ask, how would a robot have sex, or how would a ghost have sex? This game is supposed to have a creepier theme and tone overall, which IMO the game does fantastically. That is until you buy the Winterizer. Sure, let's just use a weapon that freezes enemies into snowmen and plays cute Christmas music while the galaxy is being terrorized by creepy nether creatures from an alternate dimension. When Ratchet lands on the arena planet, a poor Thugs for Less member gets kicked out of the stadium and is buried in the sand where you land. If you visit the arena multiple times, the same thing happens. Either this guy keeps losing battles or people just really hate him. Remove a sin for the Rhino 7 playing Night on Bald Mountain. The tour bot for the museum informs you that both Kronk and Zephyr are dead. In order for that bot to know that, it either had to A. install information while it was offline and Ratchet was talking about their deaths, B. have another bot exactly like it on the ship when it exploded and it somehow gave info to the other models while that happened, or C. knew about it the whole time and was being a complete dick. How the fuck is only Ratchet, Clank, Kronk, and Zephyr the only ones in charge of guarding a big-ass prison ship? Couldn't the galactic government dispatch more soldiers to help? After all, aren't they transporting one of the most dangerous and powerful villains in the galaxy? You might as well call into the Nexus. We get it! Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, 3, Deadlock, Tools of Destruction, Crack in Time, All for One, Full Frontal Assault was a thing! The game.